Alright guys, now we're going to talk about our accessories here with our Fury Planet Wilderness Hunter. I realize calling him Crocker sounds weird for obvious reasons. So, one thing I want to talk about is our head accessory. We're going to pop this off. We actually can wiggle out this piece here, which is really dope because instead of it being like, oh, we're going to have a limited articulation, they gave you two neck pieces which will allow for that extra range. So let's say you want to look to the left with extra range. You're going to pop this in, and then now your head automatically, well, this case is to the right, I'm sorry, but and if you can't get yours in, I do recommend you heat it up, or you can wiggle it like I just did. But let's say like looking off to the side, boom, now you have a sculpt that will allow you to look over to the side very easily. The same with looking over to his left, which is our right here, looking at him from this angle. So it looks really cool like this because now you don't have to worry about that bit of articulation that you couldn't get before. So I think it's a nice circumvent around what they couldn't get without breaking the sculpt. That is a very nice touch. Next up, we want to talk about our tail. I'm going to attach this now. Our tail is actually bendy at the end, but it is broken up in a few places to allow for that range of movement, as you can see here. So I'm wondering, right, because, oh no, you can't do it because of that peg. Because I was wondering if you can short the tail if you want to, but that's not the case. So we're actually going to pop this in at the end. And again, if you can't get it on, which I probably won't be able to because I didn't heat it up and it's super cold here in New York right now. I didn't heat it up beforehand, but you can just pop this on and see it. I will do it off screen so that way you don't see me strain or possibly break this figure. I don't want to do that. Next up, we're going to talk about some of our accessories like our cuffs. So here we are with two cool cuffs. Let's actually turn him around and look cool this way. And you can actually attach these cuffs if you want together to make him look like he is a prisoner. So that means if you want to do some Arkham City stuff, you totally can. And these open up as well. I forgot where they open up at. Hold on. Oh no, actually they don't open up. I'm sorry. You actually take the hand pegs off. I'm tripping. Don't listen to me on that first part. Next up, we have our big Fury knife. There's also a storage for this in the back. So if you want to store it, what you can do is right here on the backhand side, he has a storage piece. So you can tab that in. And this is where heating it up during this really cold months really come in handy. But it's nighttime, it's dark, and it's really cold here. So you'll have to excuse me should I not be able to like attach it properly during the video for obvious reasons. But as you can see here, look at that. Looking real good. Next up, we have our shotgun and holster. They actually used a real cloth here to wrap around over him. And we have our shotgun, which is large, but he is a giant wilderness hunter. So, of course, he has a shotgun custom made for his size. So I think that's pretty dope, the way they kind of engineered that. It does not pump, though, so there's nothing like that. Next up, you'll also get a vest to change up the look, right? So for the vest, I would recommend you pop the hands off, which I'm going to do off screen because this guy is heavy, and I don't want to mess up anything. So, actually, let's see if I can do it on screen. I would recommend taking the hands off, but I'm going to try to do it this way because I like to see people, make sure they see that I am doing things so that way you know what you're doing. Nope. And I messed up with the hands on, but I got it through. And this is, like I said, this is what kind of changes the look for you depending on what you want. So I'm going to rotate that arm back and up. And we hear all the sounds it makes while I do it. But I like it though. I even like the fact that we get the nice tear because he's like ripping through it. I really like that. So again, this is one of those things where this kind of adds to the look, but it also changes it. And I am a fan of that. By the way, for our other hands, we are going to get pointing hands. Oop. So you'll get two pointing hands. Let's just try to put this on. I forgot how heavy this guy is. So, again, it's so cold here that it's so hard to peg in the points on the figure. So look at that. You can actually do a cool photo like this of him just pointing. You also get hands for holding the said weapons, which is that of either the knife and or our shotgun. So you have it here. And as I stated earlier in the review, mine is missing the hat, which sucks, but I'm going to see about getting a replacement or buy the alternate color so that way I can get the hat and now I'll have two, right? By the way, when you buy your figure, in the instructions there also will be a comic in case you want to read the said comic about that, what they have for him. So that's also pretty cool as well. Look, pointing at his comic. Without all being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take his... I'll leave the pointing finger on because I like it. I am going to switch to the neutral one so he can look forward. Then we're going to do our size comparison. Show what he looks like next to some other figures so you guys can see what's going on. I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright, you guys, quick disclaimer because I could not salvage that part of the original part of the video where I talk about the bits of articulation and my few gripes. We're going to redo it and fit it in before the size comparison. As you can see by now, I've already actually changed my dio. I was working on a new setup and I had a lot going on. So as soon as I got home from work, I wanted to talk about it. I took the faceplates out because I want to show you guys what it's like without it. And I think my biggest gripe here is going to be the fact that in the arms, there was these notches right here. And let me change my focus. My biggest gripe are these notches here that do not allow you to put down the arm fully. It's going to keep you from sitting flush in the arms, and that's a little bit bothersome. I don't mind the color palette because it's supposed to be like a croc, I guess, and it's supposed to match the inside like the underbelly. But because of that, you could have had a better range of motion here, even with a single joint. If you had kept this at a deeper cut and you had got rid of this shaved part here on the inside. Because of that, there are points here like where I want to get certain parts together. Sorry, that wasn't supposed to fall off. I've been having a good time. As you can see, the arms would have been able to sit flush and come closer to like do stuff like, let's say you want to like crush a head or do any of that cool stuff. The arms cannot sit flush because of that, and that does suck. But I was able to make it work because I like enjoying toys. But I know for other people this is going to be a major gripe. This is one of those things where leaving the arm out, see, it looks cool, but functionality wise, it does not help when you take away those points of articulation or range in cases like this when you already have a single jointed character. So these are kind of things that on the engineering end of it, I hope that going forward, or if there's a V2, there are things like this is things that they can change. So I'm very curious about where they go from here, and hopefully like this can be, hopefully they see this, like Maestro Union, if you're watching, I hope you don't take this the wrong way. Like these are the kind of things that I would enjoy, especially when I've seen cool photos of it. As you can see here, look, because of that piece, it just cannot sit flush. I would love for that because that means I could do crouch down poses with the hands down. Stuff like that is awesome. So hopefully I can fit this in, and I know it will be a bit jarring articulation wise because it'll come before the size comparison. So I hope you guys enjoy. To the size comparison later. Alright, so I've got our boy standing up as much as possible just so we can know what we got going on. And let's do some size. Oh, that's the name. That's the name. Sorry. It's Leatherhead. It's Leatherhead, right? Is it Leatherhead? No. I feel like it's Leatherhead, but that's the TMNT name. So sorry about that. I had to remember it. It was on my mind for a while. And the reason why I said that is because I'm going to start with TMNT stuff. And here we are next to some NECA Turtles, the animated series ones. Here we are next to some movie ones, in case they ever fought a version of him, right? And I feel like this is a really good size. It's big, it's brooding, it works, right? So if you want it to be your Leatherhead, totally fine. It's a good look, right? Then we have stuff like, we can compare it to like a Mafex Batman. The Batman of choice, and I love this Batman, and I feel like this works. The thinness of the Jim Lee Batman from Hush, it really does work. I'm going to break out my Mezco one. That's going to be some bonus content. I left it up in the bag, so we'll get around to that, right? Just in case you want to do some Marvel stuff, here is a Marvel Legends Spider-Man. Show off that size-wise with him. So we got some good looks there, right? Let's remove this. Here we are. Oop. Here we are next to some Mythic Legions, which are known to be a little bit taller. So we have that. Then we have some Lightning Collection. Just got in the Crimson Hawk Ranger. So he's a little stiff because he's fresh out of the box, but you can get the idea for size. So even though he is technically a small piece because of the hunchback part. Like, it still is a really big and solid piece, and that's really what I like about it. Here we are next to a Valorverse Action Force Commando. Here we are next to a G.I. Joe Dusty. Right? So we have some really nice options here. And last but not least, here we are with SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Revice. Right now, there will be no Kuga appearance simply because I'm working on a special display at home with my Kugas. So here we are. Now, real quick, we're going to do some quick bonus content and jump into that Mezco Batman so you can see that nice size. Bonus. So here we are next to a Mezco Batman. And like I said, I really like how this size works out with our Wilderness Hunter. Now, I gotta say, it's a little tough because I forgot the hat, so I feel really bad about that. But overall, I feel like you can get some really nice monster hunting out of this, as well as huntee. So it's that man versus wilderness part that you can get and have some fun. Or you can use your imagination and just have a fantastic time messing around with it. So it's really up to you. Again, thank you to Maestro Union for letting me review this. I'm going to finish up these photos, send it back to them. And overall, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's always watched my stuff and continues to watch my stuff, or even if you're new here and just see the video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Some nice words for you in case you need it. I'll be honest with you, as I'm doing this video, I'm not feeling the best spirits today. So I do hope that this has lifted up your spirits. I hope that you have a good day. I hope that you have some positive affirmations and the universe doesn't put any bad juju on you, because no one needs that. So thank you, as always, and please be good, do good, drink your water, guys. Later.